In this video, I will demonstrate 3 different ways you can close gaps in an assembly project using SeqMan Ultra. To get started, I'm going to run a de novo assembly of Sanger ABI reads, but note that you can perform the gap closure steps I'm going to show you with any sequencing data. In SeqMan Ultra, select New Assembly, and then Sanger ABI de novo assembly under Molecular Biology. To add your sequences, click Add, then navigate to and select your sequences. Then select Next. In the Preassembly options screen, I will check the box next to where it says Vector Adapter Scan. Then I'm going to load the JANAS vector sequences from my computer. You can skip this step if you don't need to trim vector sequences. Next, click Run. After the assembly is complete, open your project in SeqMan Ultra. I can see that I have 2 contigs from this assembly and can open them by right-clicking on all contigs, then selecting Show Strategy View. In this example, each contig has 2 sequences. To open an individual contig, simply double-click on either contig 1 or contig 2. The first method to closing a gap is to select all contigs. Then in the config menu, choose Align Contigs End to End, keeping the default parameters. As you can see, this attempt failed. To address this, let's try extending the contig ends to see if we can create overlap between the 2 contigs. I'm going to open contig 1 and turn on quality scores by selecting the quality scores tool on the toolbar, then selecting Show Scores. I will also expand trace data by right-clicking on the sequences to the left and selecting Expand All. Next, I will drag this arrow at the end of the sequence to untrim the sequence until I have reached the first ambiguous base. Here you can see that the quality scores are low, but the peaks are still clear and trustworthy. Repeat the same steps as before by clicking All Contigs, then Align Contigs End to End in the Contig menu. Now you can see that the 2 contigs have merged into a single contig. Under the Project menu, select Project Details. This report shows both the initial assembly and the contig edits. If aligning the sequences still doesn't work after untrimming the sequence, you can try to force join the contigs together. Starting with the original assembly, I have repeated the untrimming of contig 1 until the first ambiguous base. Next, I will select all contigs, then under the contig menu, choose Force Join Contigs. In the pop-up menu, slowly slide contig ends until there are few conflicts. Click Join to force join the 2 contigs into a single contig. To locate and visualize all the remaining conflicts in the consensus, open the Alignment view and select the Search Alignment tool at the top of the toolbar. Use the green arrows on the top left to navigate the conflicts remaining in the consensus. While many conflicts can be manually resolved, there are several conflicts that cannot be resolved without additional data, which leads me to the third way to close a gap. Starting again with the original assembly, select both contigs, and under the contig menu, choose New Scaffold to place both contigs into a scaffold. In the Explorer table, assign contig 1 to position 1 and contig 2 to position 2. Select both contigs again, and under the contig menu, choose Add Sequences to close gap. Click Add and navigate to your sequence. For this example, I'm using a FASTA file, but you can also use an ABI file from an additional sequencing run. Keep the default parameters and select Run. As you can see, a single contig is created. You can search conflicts to locate any remaining conflicts in the consensus.